Good morning, Idaho. Well, we all know it's been very cold outside, and with more than 2 weeks of these sub-freezing temperatures that seem to never want to go away, it is a great time to get your home better heated and better insulated so you can keep that money inside your house where it belongs. So we're here with Joe Erickson from the Home Depot on Milwaukee and Boise. I really appreciate you coming in today because this is important, really important. Where do we start?
Well, there's a lot of great ways to help our folks and customers know how to save money and energy in their homes. And right now, everybody could use a little bit of that technique. So
everybody could.
Everybody
yes,
could.
Absolutely.
So we could all pad those wallets a little better. So we'll start with probably the easiest thing for us to change out, essentially, and that's going to be in our furnaces. And so some folks we'll change these out, you know, periodically, meaning like every 30 days or up to every 90 days. It's very, very important that we change these out at whatever the recommended specification is on the filter itself.
Especially with our air quality, the way that it's been, in the orange air quality as well. It does keep those particles out of your home, correct?
Exactly, exactly. And it's going to keep the air quality inside the home regulated. It's also going to maintain the furnace.
Okay.
The furnace itself uses some very intricate technology anymore, variable speed fans and things like that. And it's important that those are very, very clean to operate. As soon as they get dust, they get plugged up, and we start looking at big bills. And so, a couple of things we can do. We need to protect that water heater. In this area, we have a lot of water heaters out in garages.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of we've had a lot of phone calls into the store recently that pipes are frozen on those water heaters or water softeners and things like that. So it's very important that we make sure that those things are protected. So making sure that garage door is closed at night, especially when it's getting down to these below freezing temperatures. And so one of the things we can do to kind of help assist in that is this guy right here, which is a reflective blanket that goes on top of the water heater itself.
Wrap it up in a coat.
Yeah, it goes on the outside of it essentially, and basically it wraps it up. It gives you some more R value, so it gives you some better insulation around that water heater. It's also going to keep that heat that you're paying for inside that water heater. So good thing. So you have some of this insulation here. If you have some bigger gaps that you know of, maybe some places where you got some draft coming in, this is a real temporary fix, but this will get on top of it for at least a season until we can get on it in the spring. So. Some big stuff we want to talk about is just the weather stripping around your doors. This is some new product. It's made by MD. It's called the Cinch. Essentially, this is it's a self-adhesive strip. It goes right on the bottom of that door there, and it just kind of affixes itself to the bottom of the door. It keeps those cold drafts out. I mean, if you walk through your house and just kind of feel those drafts around those windows and around those doors, and you're losing lots and lots of energy through those spots.
Believe it or not, you know where I'm losing it is my cats. They actually keep eating that stripping around the doors. I'm not even kidding. There are teeth holes in there. Yeah, Joe, believe it or not, we are running out of time, but we're still going to keep you around because these are all fantastic tips. And coming up a little later, we're actually also going to talk about not only keeping that heat inside, but also staying safe. We talked a little bit about keeping the heat inside the home the last break that we took. Now we want to move on from there because it's not only about saving money, but it's also about staying safe.
Correct. So the first thing we want to start with, I think, is probably the most important thing, at least to us, is making sure that we have our carbon monoxide, detectors inside of our homes and they're properly working. And so with the houses being tight as they are right now and keeping that heat all inside, you get some carbon monoxide buildup inside the home from burning fossil fuels and also wood fireplaces. And so it's really important to make sure these are up and going just so that we're all safe. And
Does that exclude anybody? Is there anybody that says, oh, I don't need one of those in my home?
Not really. It's a good idea to have it all the way through.
Okay.
I mean, most of us are running natural gases now. There's a small amount. Generally, it's not in any kind of a dangerous level, but you never know.
But it could be.
It could be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
So we have some great things at Home Depot right now, especially to get you set up to protect yourself from any sort of calamities that would happen. So number one, we kind of talked about it last segment, but for the most part, what we want to do is make sure that garage door stays closed, especially if you have plumbing out there, your heat systems, your furnaces or whatnot. So
well, and I think a lot of people will open it up just a little bit. I know, being that I'm a pet person, because they think they can run in and out and come back in, but that's not good for your home.
Correct, yeah, and it takes a long time to heat that concrete floor back up. So a couple of really big things to kind of keep those calamities from happening, especially this one. This is a really big one. A lot of these, most of us have these on the outside of our homes.
Right.
This is an outside hose faucet. And so the big thing to do is disconnect that hose.
Yes.
These are made to drain those pipes out. And so we want to disconnect that hose so we don't have a pipe burst inside the house. And so a lot of folks are coming in right now. We're looking at the heat tapes right now. Those heat tapes are going awfully quick. That's one of the things you can do to protect your pipes that might be exposed underneath the house, and so those come in various lengths. And so one of the other things we can do is we can insulate those pipelines. This is some copper tubing here. Just throw some insulation over it, quick and easy.
Cheap.
Gives you some protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Another great big thing is that we need to just make sure that attic insulation is sufficient so that our house can't get below those certain temperatures, and it'll be protected even if we do have a short heat loss, like some of the folks had out in the other end of the valley.
Yeah. So for dummies like me, I always like everything for dummies, all the books that you can buy out there. So for heating for the home for dummies like me, what are some things that I can just run through my house and check on to see if I'm covered or not? Because I find that my problems only arise, I figure out that I had a problem after the problem becomes a huge problem.
Exactly. You want to go underneath your cabinets and your bathrooms and your kitchen, just open the doors and feel the temperature under there. Does it feel okay? Does those pipes feel really, really cold? Another thing would be to pop that crawl space opening and just stick your head down there and just feel. Does it feel like it's maybe conditioned, or is it really just like outside temperature? Some of those things, and at that point you may want to have some professionals come in and take a look and see what they can do to help you out.
But Joe, for a lot of these things, people just need to come into Home Depot, and I know every time I go in there, you guys are always so helpful.
Absolutely.
So that's a good place to start, especially when it is this cold, and unfortunately, we're still in the middle of winter, so now is a really good time to make sure that your house is prepared for all of these cold temperatures.